Hello and welcome to this Using the 2016 Emergency Response Guide ERG video exploring the main sections of the 2016 ERG. Please open your ERG book or app and follow along with this video to familiarize yourself with locating each of the sections. Understanding the content and organizational layout of the ERG is where you'll begin. Flip through pages 2 to 24. Notice how they have white borders while the other pages in the ERG are yellow, blue, orange, or green borders? All of the information you need on how and when to use the ERG is found in the opening white pages. General information about the guide can be found on pages 3 to 5. Instructions on how to interpret shipping documents can be found on the front cover. How to use this guidebook instructions in a flowchart format is found on page 1, and the emergency contact information is on page 2. Guides for markings, labels, and placards are on pages 8 and 9 respectively, while pages 10 through 15 provide visual identification references for rail cars, trailer identification, placards, and pipelines. They also outline the hazard classification system, illustrating how dangerous goods are listed by their class and division. Anytime you look up a hazmat in the ERG, you will begin with either the yellow section or the blue section. These pages will guide you directly to the center of the book, where the orange guide will provide you with the response information. If you find the 4-digit ID number first from a placard or a shipping document, you will go directly to the yellow pages and look up the ID number on a numerical list. The orange guide will be on the column beside it. Turn to 76 in your ERG to take a closer look at the yellow section. Here you will find a list of materials in numerical order by their UN ID number. The second column provides substances specific 3-digit guide number, and that will refer to an action guide located in the orange section. Please note that some substances in this section are highlighted in green, and they should be treated specifically by referring to the green section for initial isolation and protective action distances, after which the orange section may be consulted for other safety measures. If you find the name of the material first, which can be found on package markings or on the shipping paper, you'll go directly to the blue pages first and look up that name from an alphabetical list to find the orange guide number. Turn to page 98 for a closer look at the blue section. In this section, the name of substances included in the yellow section are listed in alphabetical order by the material's name. The name of the material is followed by the 3-digit guide number in the second column that you will need to refer to in the orange section, which is followed by the UN ID number. Please note that some of the substances are highlighted in green again, and thus will have to be treated specifically by referring to the green section for initial isolation and protective action distances, after which the orange section may be consulted for other safety measures. It's important to read the full name of material. For example, if you're looking up arsenic, you need to know whether it is a compound or another variation, as this will keep you from going to the incorrect guide. The yellow and blue sections provide different ways to look up hazardous materials and to identify the appropriate action guide number, which are all located in the orange section. The orange section is ultimately where you want to end up in the ERG. It contains the information you need to respond safely. In the orange section, the substances are grouped into different categories. Each action guide in the orange section represents a category with appropriate response measures. These guides are organized numerically by the 3-digit guide number, with the greatest hazards being listed first. The 2-page action guide will consist of information-specific substances, with the left page containing safety information and the right page outlining the actions that should be taken in the event of an emergency. It is in this section where important information regarding potential hazards, public safety, and emergency response can be found. Each guide number is for a group of materials with similar toxicological characteristics. Once you have found the proper guide, you have corrective actions to put into effect until qualified personnel are able to assist you. The final section of your ERG is the green section. It provides information on initial isolation and protective action distances for highlighted substances and also water-reactive materials which produce toxic gases. If the material is highlighted in green in the yellow or blue sections, you will need to refer to the green section. These highlighted materials indicate that the material is a toxic inhalation hazard, TIH. Once you realize you're dealing with a TIH material, the green bordered pages will provide you with an index to Table 1, an initial isolation and protective action distances, Table 2, water-reactive materials that produce toxic gases, and Table 3, isolation and evacuation distances for the 6 most common TIH materials. Together, these sections make up the ERG. While the guide contains critical information that can help preserve safety and minimize risk during the initial response phase of hazardous materials incidents, its effectiveness is largely dependent on how well you are able to access and act on this information in real time. So let's start practicing with the ERG.